everybody, and welcome back to Aviary Attorney. Now, I'm Ripple Gilf, so let's just hop right into it. Alright, so I believe today we are trying to get some more info on that photograph. So let's head to the photo studio. So this is the studio of the famous photographer. Shall we knock? Wait, there's a note on the door. Ahem. The magnificent and marvelous artist, Monsieur Rubizio de Rubinio, is currently out on an artistic expedition. Namely, lunch? He shall return when his muse sees fit. When his muse sees fit? What does that even mean? I think it means that he is a pretentious bird brain. But in any case, the artist seems to be out. What shall we do now? Okay, we're not just gonna leave. Knock anyways. We should knock anyway. Alright, I don't see the harm. Nope, it doesn't look like he's in, Falcon. What? I'm sorry. We're gonna do what now? We don't... If we're gonna be defending someone in court, we really oughtn't to have any criminal charges on our account. There's nothing else to do. Let's make a move. Ugh, I hate the feeling of a wasted trip. Is there really nothing else we can do? Game, really? Yeah, sorry, nothing else we can do. We can't just ignore a note, Sparrowson. If you say so. We'll just have to come back later if there is still time. Right. Wait, that took the whole day? Falcon, it's a trial date. Stop messing around. We need to head to the courthouse or... It's just... No, we're going to be late. Well, crap. So we didn't get any info from that? Alright then. To the Palace of Justice. Falcon and Sparrowson stand inside the marble portico of the Palais de Justice, awaiting the opening of the Tribunal de Grande Instance. My apologies if I'm mispronouncing any of these words. I'm trying my best. Are you nervous, Falcon? That bad, huh? Monsieur Falcon, Petite Sparrowson. Is there anything you need me to do? No, we've got a handle on things. Falcon was just telling me how confident he was feeling about the case. Oh, really now? That's wonderful. I just know you two will pull through. Let's move it along, fellas. I'll be watching from inside. Do your best for me, Monsieur Falcon. We will. Are we ready? Yeah, we're ready. Well, I was expecting an episode of photograph shenanigans, but I guess we're doing this now. Alright, settle down, everyone. Settle down. Is everybody here? J.J. Falcon, present. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Rupert Ravington, present. The ready is prosecution, Your Honor. Oh, darn, that's not it. Oh gosh, where are my notes? Ha! I knew it. Knew what? Rupert and I went to Paris Law School together. He was in all of my classes. Oh, was he smart? Pfft, no. He always scored the second worst marks in class. I can only assume that he bumbled through the final exams on the luck of his 2 rabbit's feet. Unless he's improved considerably, you might already have this trial in the bag. That's good to know. But say, Sparrowson, if Rupert scored the second lowest marks in the class, then who scored the lowest? Sparrowson. I choose to exercise my right to not self-incriminate. Here it is. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Are the jury all present? All present and accounted for, Your Honor. Hey Falcon, I thought there were only 6 members of the jury for cases like this. Why do I count 8? Oh, those 2 birds with the funny hats are assessors, the associate judges. Everything seems to be in order, so let us begin. The court is now in session for the trial of Dame Caterline Demise. Prosecution, please call your first witness to the stand. Oh gosh, are we there already? Okay, I choose to call the officer in charge of the murder investigation, Inspector Volerty, to the witness stand. Inspector Volerty, please approach the stand and recite the oath. As you will, Your Honor. I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Monsieur, Inspector, please state your, name and occupation for the record. My name is Inspector Juste Volerty. I am a servant to the law, a scourge of the gutter rats that plague this city. I have enforced the law for over 20 years, and I shall continue until I bring the infamous Viridian killer to justice. My path begins 18 years ago. Now's not the time for backstories. Let's stick to the questions, Inspector. Of course, Your Honor. Oh, great. I was hoping we could have one of those bumbling, cuddly officers, but instead we're stuck with lawful goody two-shoes. I bet this guy would turn in his own mother if he saw her littering. So, Inspector, is it true that you are the lead investigator on this case? That is correct. I was also among the first to arrive at the scene of the crime. Then perhaps you can walk us through what you witnessed upon your arrival. Absolutely. Just after 7:30, we were alerted and brought to the scene by the housemaid of Baron Roguy. At the scene of the crime, we found Dame Caterline Demise. She was standing over the corpse of Monsieur Kearney with his blood on her paws. Well, that sounds like an open and shut case in my humble opinion. No more questions, Your Honor. Bloodied paws? Nobody told me that detail! Keep it together, Falcon. You're about to be given the opportunity to cross-examine the witness. Ah, I see what's going on here. That's your opportunity to find flaws in the inspector's testimony. Of course, I know this. You may begin your cross-examination, Monsieur Falcon. Okay. Select a key phrase that you find suspicious, and Falcon will press the witness for information. Okay. It's blood on her paws. 'Cause of the steak. Oh, I didn't read. Correct. Blood clung to her for, like, guilt to a convict. But whose blood was it? Ha! What a question. It was Monsieur Kearney's, of course. How can you be so sure? I object. This line of questioning is absurd. No, it's not. There was only one murder victim that night, Falcon. Yes, but there was no cutlery. The blood on Dame Caterline Caterline's paws could have only belonged to one person, Monsieur Grenouille. Judge, Falcon's trying to delay the trial by asking pointless questions. That is not pointless! Yes! I do! I do, Your Honor. Actually, I have more than suspicion. I have evidence that the blood on Dame Caterline's paws had nothing to do with the murder. This is foolish time wasting, Falcon. If the blood on Dame Caterline's paws didn't come from the victim, then where did the blood come from? The bloody rare steak! On the evening of the murder, Dame Caterline ate a bloody rare steak. Is this true, Monsieur Ravington? Well, in the manner of speaking, I suppose steak may have been on the, menu. Then, Inspector, would you acknowledge the possibility that the blood on the lady's paws did not belong to the victim, but to the steak? Well... Wait, don't answer that, Inspector. It is a possibility. No... You gained a little favor with the jury. Woo! So, Inspector Volerty, is it possible you arrested an innocent bystander simply for being a messy eater? Now, hold on just 1 minute, Falcon. You're overlooking something quite crucial. Dame Caterline is an elegant bourgeois kitten. She's no doubt brought up with the flawless etiquette and perfect table manners. At the banquet, she would have eaten the steak with a fork in her left hand and a knife in her right, like any proper civilized animal. How could she have possibly gotten blood on her paws with such good manners? Oh, that is a good question. Or at least it would be at any ordinary dinner banquet. But as it happened, something was missing from that particular banquet. Something that forced Dame Caterline to eat with her paws. Silverware! Take a look at this. What's this? Are you saying that this went missing on the night of the murder? Well, you see, What? No! It was the silverware! Yeah, I messed up. What? No! Show us what was missing. I clicked the silverware, didn't I? It's the missing silverware. Okay, well, I don't know why it didn't happen the first time, but maybe I just clicked the wrong thing, but that's... Dame Caterline was forced to eat steak with her paws because the silverware of the household had been previously stolen. Stolen? I don't recall any mention of that in the police report. We weren't aware of anything missing from the residence when we performed the initial investigation, but as it happened, Bernard approached us about this very subject last night. Ah! Okay. Sheesh, guys. I just clicked the wrong thing. What is the meaning of all this? Bloody steak? Misplaced silverware? Inspector, was your investigation so lax that you overlooked these basic facts in your initial report? Lax? My investigation? Judge, I assure you that I am the most thorough investigative officer on the force. And it is amazing that the Parisian police managed to solve any crimes at all. Oh dear. Be on your way, Inspector. Perhaps do a little inspecting for your next case. Fine. So be it. Messieurs, until next time. Prosecutor, I trust your next witness is ready? Yes, of course, Your Honor. I shall call him, let's see, Monsieur Roberto de Rubinio, the photographer who attended the banquet on the night of the murder. Monsieur Roberto Rubinio, please approach the stand and recite the oath. Okay, so it's Robin. How does it go? I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth? It's a little cliché, to be perfectly honest. Could the witness please introduce himself for the court record? As if anybody in this courtroom does not immediately recognize me. I'm the great Monsieur Roberto Rubinio, cutting-edge photographer and visionary. I don't just take people's pictures, I capture their very essence. Je suis l'artiste. Tu es une pipe. I don't believe I'm a pipe. You may have seen my works in hip magazines, Le Branche or C'est Chouette. I can send you tweets if you like. What on earth is a tweet? Bird-to-bird communication. Come on, Falcon. It's the 19th century. Get with the times already. Yes, your works are very impressive, Monsieur Rubinio, but let's get down to business. Could you tell us your activities on the night? What your activities were on the night of the murder? Very well. I was hired by Baron Rourke to capture the evening's events. I arrived at 7 in the evening. I pointed with my camera and captured the beauty of the banquet in one fantastic photograph. Then I billed Baron Rourke and left. Like a true artist. And with regards to the photograph itself, who did you photograph? I thought you might ask. I brought a copy so that you all could see for yourselves. Oh, very good. Let's take a closer look. There are hands! I knew it! My word, this is an exquisite picture, isn't it? So let's see, who do we have here? In the middle, we see Baron Rourke, the lion who hosted the event. On the left, we see Senior Percival Demise, the father of the defendant, Dame Caterline. Finally, we see the housemaid, Colleen Duo, who I suspect may have snuck into the picture uninvited. As you can see, two people are clearly absent from the photograph. The first is the victim, Monsieur Grenouille. The second is the defendant, Dame Caterline Demise. Quite suspicious, wouldn't you agree? Just a moment, Monsieur Rabington. This proves nothing. So the defendant and the victim were not photographed with the others. That doesn't mean they weren't in the garden together at that point. Hold your horses, Falcon. I'm not done yet. The prosecution may continue. Behind the photograph, we see a wall clock with the time set at 7:30. Now, why is that time significant? Well, as Inspector Valeretti told us earlier, that was the exact time the murder took place. Do you see, Falcon? Every suspect has an alibi at the time of the murder, save for Dame Caterline herself. Falcon, something is fishy. In the jail cell, Dame Caterline told us she was present when the photograph took place, but I don't see her in Rubinio's photograph. That's true, but I can't use Dame Caterline's testimony as evidence. It has too little weight. If I want to prove that Monsieur Rubinio's photograph is not a valid piece of evidence, I will have to dish out evidence of my own. And I have just the stuff. Your Honor, I'd like to cross-examine the witness. Very well, the defense may proceed. Humph. It's a waste of time if you ask me. Photographs are rock-solid evidence. Wait, can I... And I can't look at the photograph again? Okay. I see a mistake in the photograph. Just to clarify, Monsieur Rubinio, photographs are a direct reflection of reality, are they not? That is correct. The photographic process leaves no room for bias or inaccuracies. That is most curious, because I see a mistake. A mistake? Impossible! I just told you, monsieur. The camera is a perfect, unbiased device. The photographs it produces are flawless. Falcon, I'm not seeing any mistakes. Perhaps you could be more specific? Certainly. It's the clock! The clock in this photograph. There's something not right about it. Well, isn't that convenient? The defense sees something wrong with the key piece of evidence that implicates his client. Don't give me that cocky tone, Monsieur Rabington. I have evidence that there's something wrong with the clock in that picture. It doesn't have any hands! The photograph clearly shows the clock's hands pointing at 7 and 6. That much is self-evident. Which is most curious because the clock in the lounge of Chateau Kearney has no hands! It has no hands? The clock is merely a decorative piece, a talking item. Feel free to ask Baron Rourke or his housemaid if you have doubts. Monsieur Rubinio, how do you explain this discrepancy? I don't know. There must be some sort of mistake. My camera is flawless. There is no mistake, monsieur. Your photograph depicts something that does not exist in the real world. Maybe there was an error in the printing process? An error precisely where the clock's hand should be? Please, monsieur, don't patronize us. Allow me to offer a more plausible explanation. You, Monsieur Rubinio, edited this photograph. Edited? I'm no expert, but I suspect you used paint or ink to carefully put hands upon the clock. It would have been a simple task, considering the clock face was bare. One could even speculate that you specifically chose to include a handless clock in the photograph just to simplify the editing process. Falcon, your reasoning is absurd. Why would the witness do such a thing? Is it not obvious? By showing the photograph to have taken place at precisely 7:30, it clears all the photograph subjects of suspicion. In other words, Monsieur Rubinio created a perfect alibi. Of course, this raises further questions. Who is the witness protecting? And why? Was Monsieur Rubinio coerced, bribed, threatened? Enough silence! Let's hear some answers, Monsieur Rubinio. Fine, you've got me. I'm guilty. I did it all. Wait, he did the murder? You did it? You're confessing to the murder of Monsieur Grenouille? What? No. I have no idea who killed the frog. I'm just admitting that I'm guilty of producing fraudulent photographs. I was ordered to make changes to the printed photographs, and yes, that included adding hands to the clock. You were ordered? By whom? I dare not say. Monsieur Rubinio, I strongly advise you to answer to the defense's question. You have pledged to speak without fear, after all. With respect, Judge, I fear his claws more than I fear the punishment of the justice system. I shall name no names. His claws? Did you hear that, Falcon? That is most unfortunate. Monsieur Rubinio, we cannot and shall not torture names out of you. We don't live under the ancien regime, after all. But since you have admitted to falsifying evidence, then we cannot keep you on the stand as a witness. Take your leave. You shall be charged with perjury in due course. I can't protest. That's the least I deserve for my failure as an artist. Good day, monsieur. I called it! So the clock's hands were painted on. So what? It doesn't matter. The photograph still depicts Dame Caterline as absent close to the time of the murder. That's significant. Don't be dense, Monsieur Rabington. If the photograph is not completely genuine, then it cannot be considered reliable evidence. Why not? It's still a portrayal of the night's events. Because if we accept that one part of the picture was edited, then we must accept the possibility that other parts were too. It's possible that Dame Caterline was painted out. Even worse, it is possible that another person was painted in. We know that the witness was trying to cover for someone, so all possibilities must be accounted for. So what are you saying, Falcon? That the housemaid paid off the photographer? Or was it Seigneur Pertois de Miao, perhaps? I don't think so. The housemaid lacks means or a motive. It wouldn't make sense for Seigneur Pertois to implicate his own daughter. Well, surely you're not suggesting that the honest and beloved Baron Orgay deliberately tried to frame Dame Caterline? Because that would be the most outlandish theory yet. The Baron is a pillar of our community. He would never do such a thing. Oh, really? Well, Monsieur Rabington, I'm not here to throw accusations. That is the job of you, the prosecutor. However, mayhaps I should offer my opinion. But Baron, it's not time for your witness testimony yet. So you'd think, prosecutor, and yet I see my good reputation getting tarnished by your incompetence. Incompetence? Indeed. Let us proceed with witness questioning. Is that fine with you, Judge? Yes, I suppose that's fine. Very good. I trust that the defense has no objections? No objections here. Fantastic. Oh, but before I forget, I pledge to speak without fear and prejudice, etc., etc. Now, prosecutor, ask me about what I witnessed over the course of the evening. Oh, okay. Bernard, on the night of the initial dinner went magnificently. When the photographer arrived, Monsieur Grenouille left to visit the garden. Dame Caterline followed behind him moments later. Seigneur Pertois, Monsieur Rubinio, and myself were engaged in conversation, so we paid her no mind. After the photographer had left, my housemaid left to go find Monsieur Grenouille and Dame Caterline. That would be when I heard her cry for help. Thank you, Baron. I think we all know the story from there. I'd like to cross-examine the witness. Do you doubt my integrity, garçon? I'm just here to uncover the truth, Baron. Very well, then. Hit me with your best shot. Let us establish with absolute certainty that I, Baron Rogue, am an honest man. The defense may proceed with the cross-examination. Dinner, Monsieur Kearney, the garden, and the house. What evidence do we have? So there was that. None of this is of any importance! So we know the dinner was fine. The photographer, Monsieur Kearney, left to visit the garden. There's nothing I can really dispute here. I mean, I get the feeling it's one of these two. Baron Rogue, I have some questions about Monsieur Kearney. God rest his soul. Okay. What was your relation to Monsieur Kearney prior to his demise? We were business partners. Monsieur Kearney, Senior Pertward de Mio, and myself all owned a third share in an up-and-coming railway company. Excuse the crassness of this question, but that means that you and Senior Pertward would now own half of the company each, correct? Correct. I suppose that's a slight glimmer of benefit that arose from this foul situation. But, Monsieur, you must understand that Monsieur Kearney and I were friends as much as we were business associates. I mourn the man's passing. Of course. Do you have another question? Yes? Why did he visit the garden? Why did Monsieur Kearney leave to visit the garden? I believe he wanted some fresh air. The steak did not sit well with him, I fear. Oh, I see, but that is quite coincidental timing, isn't it? How so? Well, Monsieur Kearney felt sick and left the room just after the photographer arrived, and just before the murder occurred. One might draw a link between the food and the sickness. Hold on, Falcon. Surely you aren't suggesting that Monsieur Kearney's food was poisoned in some way. This is a red herring. Am I? Am I suggesting that the food was poisoned? I have no reason to think that. Aside from the fact that they're asking me about it now, but I have no evidence to back that up. But he died of a... I mean, sure. Let's go with that. I am. The events are too closely tied to be a mere coincidence. I'm no expert, but I think the steak would have been a perfect medium to carry a small amount of poison. My word, what a revelation, but what evidence do you have of this poisoning? Bearing in mind, of course, that the coroner found no signs of poisoning and no poison was found at the crime scene. Oh, well, to be completely honest, there's no hard evidence of poisoning, but we can speculate. No, Monsieur Falcon, we cannot. This trial's a farce. No. So what is it about the garden? Baron, we saw the murder scene in your garden for ourselves. What's with all the horses? Oh. Oh. Okay. There we go. Baron Rogue, when was the last time you ventured into your own garden? As it happens, I have quite serious allergies. I haven't been in my own garden for years. Aha! Years, you say? Indeed. That's not right, monsieur. Baron, I do not wish to call you a liar, but that claim does not hold up to scrutiny. Oh, and why is that? Because we have hard evidence that you have visited the garden recently. Balderdash, my word is gold. Show the court this so-called hard evidence that I've been in my garden. This was found in your garden. To be specific, it was found inside the fountain basin. Right beside where the murder occurred. A cigar butt? That, could belong to, anybody, and... Prosecutor, please shut your mouth. I can speak for myself. Okay. Sorry, Baron. That is indeed the remnants of one of my cigars, but I must apologize, Monsieur Falcon, for I have misunderstood your initial question. You see, prior to the banquet, I hadn't visited my own garden in years. But naturally, after hearing the housemaid's cry for help on the evening of the murder, I rushed outside. I was shocked and disgusted by what I saw. That must have been when I dropped my half-smoked cigar in the fountain basin. You see, Falcon, there's a perfectly reasonable explanation. Yeah, sure there is. I'd find that believable if the cigar were casually discarded. But as it happens, the cigar butt was found in the fountain's upper basin, a location that could only be accessed with great inconvenience. And a little paddling. The cigar butt was not dropped, it was deliberately hidden. There are any number of possible explanations. Are there? Because I can only think of one. That is, that you, Baron Rogue, deliberately hid your cigar butt to disguise your own illicit activities. Did I now? And what illicit activities would those be? How about murder? You want me to spell it out? Fine, let's put everything on the table. You, Baron Rogue, murdered Monsieur Kearney. That is what you were trying to keep hidden. Directly accusing me of murder. How shamelessly brazen. That is a ludicrous accusation, Falcon. The Baron is an upstanding citizen of the highest order. Your allegation is baseless. You have no evidence. No means, motive, or opportunity. No evidence? Think harder, Monsieur Roughton. Every piece of evidence points to the Baron Rogue as the prime suspect. You want the means? The Baron certainly had the means. His lion's claws are as sharp as a surgeon's blade. Gutting a frog belly would be trivial to him. Even Mr. Rubinio confessed just moments ago that he feared his claws. Ridiculous. I would never threaten a man with violence. You want a motive? The Baron had at least 10,000 francs worth of motive. By removing a business partner, the Baron's share of his railway company increased from 1/3 to 1/2. This is preposterous. And finally, the Baron had an opportunity. No, he crafted the perfect opportunity. He arranged a small banquet with a very select number of guests. He was aware of the missing silverware, yet he served steak, a food item that necessitates good cutlery. Why? To bloody the hands of his guests, of course. Then he hired an easily influenced photographer and staged a very specific picture in order to build a perfect alibi for himself. Photographing the guests in front of a handless clock to make for easy editing is quite an ingenious plan, it must be said. Prosecutor, are you just gonna let this slanderous yarn go uncontested? Say something! Object! Oh, you're pitifully useless. After executing the murder, the Baron found himself still holding a single piece of incriminatory evidence, his finished cigar. He knew that leaving it at the crime scene would raise suspicion, but he didn't have time to properly dispose of it. So out of desperation, he threw it into his fountain, out of sight of his guests and any snooping police. I imagine the Baron was hoping to implicate Senior Pertois Demise, since that would ensure total control over his railway company. Alas, Dame Caterline was the first to happen upon the crime scene, so the Baron improvised. This is an outrage. Judge, I demand that you disbar this ranting lunatic. No, there's only one outrage here. That is, a man like yourself is able to abuse his wealth and status to frame an innocent girl for murder. You're a bourgeois of the worst kind. How dare you, garçon? The utter nerve for a lying scumbag of a lawyer to accuse a philanthropist like myself of something so heinous. I'm nothing like the fat cat bourgeois. I'm a respectable, hard-working capitalist. No, you're a ruthless man who would slaughter a dear friend just to reap a few francs. You incredulous whelp. I ought to gut you right here and now like a danged frog. Well, could someone please restrain the Baron? I'm on it, Your Honor. Let's go, old man, to the conciergerie with you. Don't touch me, you filthy jackdaw. I can walk myself. This is quite a turn of events. Does the prosecution have anything to add? Well, in a manner of, speaking, well, to be honest, no. Then I shall now confer with the members of the jury to come to a decision. I ask that the animals of the court please be patient in this time. Falcon, that was pretty incredible. Thank you. I just hope it was enough. What do you mean? You just proved Caterline's innocence. We'll get a not guilty verdict for sure. Sparrowson, I think you've misunderstood something important about the justice system. What's that? I haven't proved anything. As lawyers, we cannot deal in proofs. It's just not possible. All I can do is organize the evidence and convincingly explain what it suggests. I haven't proved Dame Caterline's innocence. All I've done is demonstrate that there is a significant possibility that she is not guilty. I'm not sure that I understand the difference. We have reached a decision. In light of recent revelations, it is clear that an error of judgment was made with the initial arrest. On that note, we unanimously find the defendant, Dame Caterline Demise, to be not guilty. Woo! Monsieur Falcon, Petite Sparrowson, you did it! Yeah, I suppose we did, didn't we? We should head back to the office so we can celebrate properly. You did it, Falcon! I can't take all the credit. This was a group achievement. I'm so proud of you both. I'll go get 1 bottle of wine and 3 of our least dirty glasses. You're amazing, Monsieur Falcon. Oh, it was nothing. I very much like the way you pinned the murder on the Baron. That was an act of sheer genius. What? I didn't pin anything. Sparrowson and I just worked at unveiling the truth, given the facts of the case. Monsieur Falcon, there is no need to play coy. The case is over. What? Caterline! Play coy? Don't tell me you're actually being sincere. I'm completely lost. Caterline, what have you done? Oh wow, I thought the goody-goody thing was an act, but you don't know. Alright, I'll spell it out for you. Oh no. Oh no, it was Pertoire. I murdered Monsieur Kearney. Wait. Caterline, what? I saw him in the garden, all drunk and vulnerable, and I seized my opportunity. It was nothing personal, just business, you understand? Business? To increase my papa's share in the train company, of course. My papa always said that the Drangled Frog was the weakest link. Your confession doesn't make any sense at all. I found Baron Roget's cigar butt hidden in the garden. Oh, I put that there. Caterline! I expected the police to find it, but I suppose that was putting too much faith in the brains of Paris's finest. But Falcon proved that Monsieur Rubinio's photograph was edited. It was edited. I wasn't in the picture because I was busy paying a visit to Monsieur Kearney in the garden. My papa knew I needed an alibi, so he ordered Monsieur Rubinio to paint me over Baron Roget and to add a hands to the clock. But that lazy artist didn't manage to finish altering the photograph by trial day. It's a good thing that Monsieur Falcon was so imaginative, because that could have gone very badly. What? What's with the silence? You should both be proud. No, we just don't let a murderer get away. There aren't many lawyers in the whole of France who could have won a case like this, even for a bourgeois kitty like me. I think you should leave. Humph, fine. So much for the celebrations. Here's the payment for your services, straight from my papa's pockets. Well, adieu, Monsieur Falcon. Adieu, Petite Sparrowson. Oh, no! Falcon, what do we do now? Falcon? Well, I wasn't expecting to get to the trial today, but... Oh my word! Gosh! It was Caterline the whole time? I guess that wraps it up for... So next time... I'm guessing we'll have a different case to pursue? But... Sheesh! Well... Until then... See ya!